I will try to exercise my fluency or in the two Canadian official languages, which is maybe in sequence. Thank you so much, Eric. And I would like, on behalf of UNESCO, to very, very warmly, and on behalf of my team, of course, to very warmly thank our panelists and our moderators who have done, I think, a tremendous job over this past day and a half. I personally have learned, and it is always a pleasure after 29 years of career with the United Nations to learn so much as we have done over the past day and a half. I will not even attempt to go through all the things that we have learned and to make an oral report. I will ask, however, after these few general words that I will share with you, my colleague Rochelle Roca-Hacham, to maybe complement some of the things I will say. Apart from thanking the panelists and the moderators, I would like to thank, of course, our interpreters. I don't need to tell them that languages matter. They are devoting their life and their career to it, and I think they deserve a very, very warm round of applause. I'm always trying to learn at least another language in listening to some interpretation at times. Also, the conference officers, they are these very nice people in the back of the room there and down here who make sure that our names are correctly spelled and that you get all the equipment that works, etc. And of course, our colleagues from the United Nations for accompanying us in this journey. I will also like, on your behalf, because some of you have asked me to do that, do what I normally never do in such formal setting, and it is to thank my own very small team, and first and foremost Rochelle Roca-Hacham and Felicitas, because they have devoted really the best part of the past 2 months in working on your behalf. So I think this time I will make an exception. Thank you. And Felicitas, who is an intern who has been working around the clock with Rochelle on that. Unpaid intern, yeah, that's important. Now, just one word. I'll do the more logistic or general comments. Of course, in our thanks also, Anthony Mayer and Ling Waman. I think all of you were last night at the formidable event at the MoMA can appreciate the fantastic work that Anthony and his team are doing. I think that they have been very, very, in fact, behind this initiative. They talked first to our colleagues at headquarters and to Rochelle and our team at the office. They have accompanied us, and not only for this seminar, but for a long, long time, because they are devoting, in fact, their professional life to safeguarding not only Catalan, but also making sure that the very interesting best practice example of what's happening in Barcelona is shared around the world. And Anthony, please tell your team as well that we are looking forward at UNESCO to continue working with you on the follow-up to the conference. And I will say a couple of words of that, because I'm sure our dear friend, Ambassador Sameh Sekou, would be extremely upset if I wouldn't mention that. One word about maybe the attendance, because for those of you who come from afar and who are not part of our wonderful United Nations family, and who may have wondered why, as everybody is so keen to know and to participate in such meetings, at times you may have felt that maybe there were not as many people as you would have liked. Let me tell you two things on that. Of course, the United Nations is a very huge organization, and just a floor up or 2 floors up from us, there is the General Assembly. And as we speak, there are ongoing discussions at the GA, amongst other things, to pass resolutions on human rights, which is a very, very important subject. But a word about that, because the UN is now so technologically advanced, a number of people have told me, including media, that the debates and the discussion have been followed on the webcast, am I correct? And that it will be recorded as well, I mean, as a webcast. So I think there is a lot more people than only the people who were in the room at any given moment. For UNESCO, as I mentioned briefly last night, celebration of a year is important in itself, because of course that's what member states ask us to do when they vote in the General Assembly, the celebration of a year. But more importantly, we are at UNESCO, we work with a group of technical experts, and we are looking at the ways we can use the year to raise awareness, but also to build on the work we do and to be capacity builders and to be a network of networks. And there I would like to assure all of you that not only we will record what was discussed here, of course the PowerPoints and presentation will be shared, and I will ask Rochelle to say a few words more about that. But I can also assure you that a lot of the discussions that were, a lot of the suggestions that were made, and invitation to go to Sao Paulo, or you know, the very pioneering work work that the Réseau Maya is doing in Mali are some of the projects and initiatives that UNESCO intend to continue investing on. And there, I would ask each and every one of you, as you go back to your regular duties, to continue maintaining correspondence and contacts with us, and very importantly also to look on our websites, unesco.org, where you will see not only now but in the future as well, continuing some of these initiatives and support to these initiatives, not only from headquarters, but more importantly, from the 193 member states that we are serving. En conclusion, je serai quand même plus bref.
Very briefly, once again, I'd like to thank you all and say how much this discussion has enriched us all. And I'd like to ask my colleague, Rochelle Roca, to say a few words about the concrete follow-up we'll be giving to this global seminar.